Now let us continue. We will begin by understanding about fractions. What are the various types of fractions, such as proper fractions, improper fractions, and mixed fractions. And then let us understand how we can compare fractions and how do we add two fractions. Now let us try to understand fractions. So imagine a scenario. You are celebrating your birthday with your friends and you cut your cake into 8 equal slices, and say you have 8 friends. So each person would get a slice and they would be receiving 1 by 8th of the cake. So this 1 by 8 is a fraction where the whole cake is represents a single unit and each slice would be a part of that unit. So similarly, 2 by 5 would be a fraction, 7 by 11 would be a fraction, even say 23 upon 2 would be a fraction. So basically a fraction is any number which can be written in the form of x by y, where x and y, they are whole numbers. And wherein y is not equal to 0. Because as we have seen earlier, division by 0 is not defined. So whenever we write x by y, we ensure that y is not 0 because division by y is undefined. So a fraction is simply a number which can be written in this form, x by y. X and y are whole numbers, and in this case x is referred to as the numerator and y is called the denominator. So numerator is basically the part and denominator shows the total parts in the whole. Let us look at various types of fractions. So first of all, we have what are known as proper fractions. So a proper fraction always represents a part of a whole, and in this case the numerator is less than the denominator. Say our fraction is x by y. So in this case x is strictly less than y. For example, 3 by 5, 2 by 7, 1 by 4, and say even 0 by 9 are all proper fractions. So the top number is always smaller than the bottom number. So this is a proper fraction. Secondly, we have improper fractions. And in this case, our x, that is a numerator, is greater than or equal to the denominator, that is y. So 7 by 4, 11 by 5, 16 by 8, 9 by 9, these are all improper fractions because the numerator is greater than or equal to the denominator. And improper fractions combine whole numbers as well as fractional parts. For example, say we have a whole number 3. So 3 can also be written as 3 upon 1, which is a improper fraction. Next, we have mixed fractions. So a mixed fraction combines a whole number and a proper fraction. So basically it is another way to write an improper fraction. For example, say we have 11 by 4. Now 11 by 4 can be written as 2 plus 3 by 4 or simply 2 3 by 4. So 11 by 4 is the improper fraction and 2 3 by 4 is the mixed fraction. Similarly, say 22 by 7. 22 by 7 is 3 plus 1 by 7. That is 3 1 by 7. So in general, an improper fraction equals the sum of an integer and a proper fraction. Now let us look at comparison of fractions. Let's understand this using an example. Say we want to compare 3 by 8 and 5 by 12. So when I say compare, I mean I should be able to tell whether 3 by 8 is lesser than 5 by 12, or whether it's greater than 5 by 12, or whether it equals 5 by 12. So the first step in this process is to find the LCM of the denominators. In this case, I have to find the LCM of 8 and 12, which would be 24. Then I would be rewriting both 3 by 8 and 5 by 12 so that the denominator would be the LCM, that is 24. So both fractions I'll try to rewrite. So 3 by 8 I can also write it as 9 by 24, because 9 by 24, if I simplify further, I'll be reaching 3 by 8. Similarly 5 by 12. So 12 multiplied by 2 would be 24. So 5 multiplied by 2 is 10. So I can rewrite 5 by 12 as 10 by 24. Now comparing 9 by 24 and 10 by 24 is straightforward, because in this case I just need to compare the numerators. So since 9 is less than 10, so 9 by 24 is less than 10 by 24. This is how we compare fractions. Let us take up another example. Say I need to compare 7 by 10 and 2 by 3. So what is the first step? I'll first try to find out the LCM of 10 and 3. The LCM is 30. Then I'll try to rewrite 7 by 10 as, so that the denominator is 30 for both. I need to rewrite them. So 10 multiplied by 3 is 30. So 7 again I'll multiply it by 3, which is 21. Similarly 3 multiplied by 10 is 30. So 2 multiplied by 10 will be 20. And clearly, since 21 is greater than 20, 21 by 30 is greater than 20 by 30. Meaning 7 by 10 is greater than 2 by 3. So this is how we can compare fractions. Now let us understand addition of fractions. So we'll take it up case by case. So the first case is, say I want to add a fraction and an integer. So fraction plus integer. Let's take up an example. Say I want to add 3 by 7 and 2. So what do? I simply rewrite this, my integer, the 2, as a fraction. So 2 is nothing but 14 by 7, to which I need to add 3 by 7. So in this case, the denominator is taken as common, which is 7. Then I need to simply add 3 and 14. So 3 plus 14 is nothing but 17. So this is 17 by 7. This is how I can add a fraction and an integer. Say I have to add 4 by 9 and say 0. So the result would be simply 4 by 9, because we know that whenever we add 0, the value does not change. Now say we need to add 7 by 10 and minus 1. So what do? First I will try to rewrite minus 1 as a fraction. This would be minus 10 by 10. The reason I am writing it as minus 10 by 10 is because I want 10 as the denominator, because here I have 10 as a denominator in 7 by 10. So to this I'll be adding 7 by 10. So now I'll be able to take 10 as a common denominator, and I just need to add 7 and minus 10, which would be minus 3 upon 10. This is the first case where we are adding a fraction and an integer. Now what if I need to add 2 or more fractions? For example, say I need to add 2 by 5 and 3 by 4. So in this case, I first take the LCM of 5 and 4, similar to the way we were comparing 2 by 5 and 3 by 4. So the LCM of 5 and 4 is 20. So I try to rewrite both the fractions so that the denominator is 20. So 5 by 4, so 2 by 5, I can rewrite it as 8 by 20. And similarly 3 by 4, I can rewrite it as 15 by 20. And now I just need to add up 8 and 15, which would be 23. Okay, so this is 8 plus 15 by 20, which is 23 by 20. So now this is an improper fraction. I can rewrite this improper fraction as a mixed fraction. So 23 by 20 is nothing but 3 by 20. So you can put the final result in both the forms, as an improper fraction as well as a mixed fraction. Now let us understand using another example. Say we have to add 3 fractions this time, which are 5 by 6, 7 by 9, and say half, 1 by 2. So what is the first step in this addition process? First we'll take the LCM of all the denominators, which are 6, 9 and 2, and the LCM is 18. So next what do? We have to rewrite each fraction so that the denominator is 18. So this is something by 18 plus something by 18 plus something by 18. What is this something? First case, 6 will turn into 18 if we multiply it by 3. So if we multiply 5 by 3, we will get 15. So 5 by 6 can be written as 15 by 18. Similarly, 7 by 9 can be written as 14 by 18. And finally, 1 by 2 can be written as 9 by 18. So now this simply transforms to 15 plus 14 plus 9, that is addition of all the numerators with 18 as a common denominator. This would add up to 38. So this is 38 by 18. Now 38 by 18, we can simplify it further as 19 by 9 because 2 is common in both. And say if I want to write it as a mixed fraction, I can further write it as 2 1 by 9. So to quickly summarize, we have understood how we can add fractions using 3 simple steps. First, we identify the common denominator, which would be the LCM of all the denominators. Secondly, we'll rewrite the fractions and ensure that all the fractions share the same denominator. Then thirdly, we will try to add the numerators and then simplify wherever possible. And then if required, if the result is an improper fraction, we can always convert it into a mixed fraction.